Why does the princess look sad, Daddy? Emma whispered, her voice trembling with a sincerity that only an 8-year-old can muster. Ryan followed her gaze. The woman was sitting 3 tables away, staring blankly at a laptop screen that remained dark. She wasn't wearing a crown, but her posture was regal, though her shoulders were weighed down by an invisible, heavy burden. A single tear escaped her eye, and she quickly brushed it away with a trembling hand, hoping no one noticed. But Emma noticed. Emma noticed everything. Ryan looked at his daughter, then back at the woman. He saw the same hollow look in her eyes that he had seen in his own mirror for the first time 4 years ago, right after the funeral. It was the look of someone who was physically present but emotionally stranded. I don't know, honey, Ryan said softly, closing his phone. Maybe she's just having a really long day. Emma shook her head defiantly. No. Princesses aren't supposed to cry in coffee shops. We have to help her, Daddy. In that moment, Ryan had a choice. He could do what most people do, mind his own business, finish his coffee, and head to the grocery store. Or, he could honor the empathy his daughter was trying to teach him. He looked at the coloring book on the table, a page of a smiling princess Emma had just finished. He looked at the box of crayons. What do you think we should do? He asked. Emma didn't hesitate. She ripped the page out of her book, scribbled something on the back, and handed it to Ryan. You have to give it to her. I'm too shy. Ryan felt a surge of social anxiety. He was a single dad who spent his days in spreadsheets and his nights doing laundry. He didn't do spontaneous gestures with beautiful strangers. But the look in Emma's eyes was expectant. He stood up, his heart hammering against his ribs, and walked over. He didn't say a word. He simply placed the drawing on the woman's table, face down, and walked back to his seat. The woman, startled, looked at the paper. She turned it over. On one side was a vibrantly colored princess in a yellow dress. On the back, in Emma's shaky 3rd-grade handwriting, were the words, "Don't be sad. You are beautiful. Love, Emma." Ryan watched as the woman's hand went to her mouth. She didn't just smile, she let out a choked sob, covered her face, and then looked toward their table. Her eyes met Ryan's, and for the first time in years, he felt a spark of genuine human connection that wasn't tied to grief or duty. The woman stood up and walked over. Her name was Sarah. She sat down with them, and for the next hour, the Saturday tradition changed forever. Sarah wasn't a princess, she was a pediatric nurse who had lost a young patient that morning, a little girl who loved drawing. She had come to the cafe because she couldn't bear to go home to an empty apartment with the weight of that loss. Emma's drawing wasn't just a piece of paper, it was a sign that she wasn't alone in her sorrow. As they talked, Ryan found himself opening up about Amy, about the quiet house, the struggle to braid hair, and the fear that he wasn't enough for Emma. Sarah listened with a depth of understanding that felt like a healing balm. They realized they were both fixers, who had forgotten how to fix themselves. The conversation didn't feel like a first meeting, it felt like a reunion. Weeks turned into months. The Saturday mornings at Corner Cup Cafe evolved. It wasn't just Ryan and Emma anymore, Sarah became a permanent fixture at the corner table. She taught Emma how to draw real flowers, and Ryan taught Sarah how to laugh again without feeling guilty about the past. But the real change wasn't just in their social lives, it was in Ryan's soul. He realized that for 4 years, he had been a single dad in a survival bubble. By responding to Emma's simple question about a sad princess, he had popped that bubble and let the world back in. 1 year later, on a crisp September morning, Ryan stood in that same cafe. He wasn't checking work emails. He was holding Sarah's hand. He looked at Emma, who was now working on a much more advanced art kit Sarah had bought her. Ryan realized that being a hero to your child isn't about having all the answers or never being sad, it's about having the courage to be kind when it's uncomfortable. What the single dad did that day changed everything because he chose to see the world through his daughter's eyes. He stopped being a spectator in his own life and became a participant again. He learned that grief is a heavy coat, but you don't have to wear it alone. As you finish watching this, look around you. Is there a sad princess or a lonely king in your life today? Sometimes, the smallest gesture, a drawing, a kind word, or just noticing someone's pain, is the catalyst for a miracle. We are all walking each other home. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need a reminder that better days are coming. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories of hope and human connection. Remember, you never know whose life you might change just by being brave enough to care.